When ancient kingdoms in Nusantara would like to expand their territory, none of them ever dare to set foot on the fearsome land of the Indo kingdom. The mighty giants of Sumatra had been known for the dominator of the Asian Pacific Peninsula, and that is set in stone. Literally, they released 6 cursed inscriptions for those who want to threaten their sovereignty. Nini Susanti, an archaeologist from Universitas Indonesia, mentioned that the power of this kingdom is seen from the neighboring areas that stood under it. For example, Kedah, Ligor, Melayu Island, Kota Kapur, Jambi, Lamong, and Batu Raja. This kingdom serves as the mandala or the center for them. So, what is this kingdom, you might ask? Let us dive deeper to the ancient kingdom of Sriwijaya. What's up, guys? So on today's topic, we will travel back in time to the 7th century of Nusantara, in which we will uncover the history of Srivijaya kingdom. First of all, Srivijaya kingdom was a kingdom that stood in Sumatra from the year 683 until the year of 1183. Known for its advanced military and economy, Srivijaya kingdom was actually one of the most influential kingdoms in Southeast Asia that had a territory until the coast of Cambodia. And then here's what we will discuss later on. We'll discuss the beginning of Srivijaya, the influence of the outside world on this kingdom, then the remainings of the empire. Also, we will look upon the fallen rulers like the Puntahyang or Balaputradewa and others. Let us start with the eponym of Srivijaya. Here we have the eponym of Srivijaya. So eponym means alias or designation. So according to the slide, in Sanskrit, Sri means glow or gleaming, and Vijaya means victory or winner. So combine those words together, it means glowing winner. Next, we have the Bahasa Jawa and Thailand of Sriwijaya. On that slide, Bahasa Jawa doesn't have any alphabetic meaning. Meanwhile, Thailand means Sriwijaya. The Thailand people call Srivijaya as Sriwijaya. As we have discussed about the eponym or the literal meaning of Sriwijaya, next we will discuss about how Sriwijaya came to existence because of the influence of the outside world. It is what we call as the foreign source. Next one, who is this monk and what did he do to Sriwijaya? So he was actually Ising, a Buddhist monk, a Chinese Buddhist monk that came to Sriwijaya to spread Buddhism. The Ising's expedition actually began on the year of 671 and it ended until the year of 695. So Ising is actually a Buddhist monk, just like what I mentioned earlier, from the Tang dynasty in China that existed from the year of 681 until the year of 907. So Yicheng or Ising came to India at first to study and spread Buddhism, but then he visited Sumatra to study and then also to teach again the Buddhism. Also, not to mention, he also proposed the term Srivijaya on the 7th century. More about Ising and what did he note on Srivijaya. It is what we call as the Berita Cina, or some Chinese people call as Datang. So, what's the content of this text? Inside of it is actually explained about how Sriwijaya is a place to study Buddhism. And then Foshi is the name of the city. And other contents of this text is actually about Iching actually stated that there are over 1,000 priests to study Buddhism under Sakyakirti in Sriwijaya. So why did I underline the word Sakyakirti? Who was that person? We will know that later on. And then also, Berita Cina is translated by Shintali. Next, we have the specific terms we need to know in Chinese. The first one is San Bosai or trading place. And then Shili for Shi, it means Sriwijaya. And then Sin Chang Su or Chiu Kan Su, it means to spread Buddhism. Now, just like what I mentioned earlier, who is this Sakyakirti? He was actually one of the leading priests that teach Buddhism in Sriwijaya, Sumatra. And then all of his teachings is actually explained in Datang, or what we call as Berita Cina. And then he was actually one of the 57 high priests, and then he was one of the leading priests, just like what I mentioned. Okay, but we've actually done with Sakyakirti, and that explains the Chinese influence on Sriwijaya. Next one, we have one of the most influential also, which is the Arabian influence because of their trading. Here we have the illustration of Arabian traders coming to Indonesia, also to Sumatra, and we actually know why Sriwijaya is actually a very powerful kingdom in Sumatra. Here we have the influences of Arabian traders in Sriwijaya. First one, actually, spice route. So what is this spice route? Actually, at the time, Sriwijaya conquered most of the Malacca Strait side, and it actually was the spice route, or the line of traffic, especially for trading. So that's explained with spice route. And then the second one is land rich with natural resources. Sriwijaya is actually rich with spices, kemenyan, cendana wood, steel, lead is actually the most important, and then gold and other natural resources. Also the third one, the statement in which I just said earlier, actually sourced from Indian literature texts, and then it explains why Sriwijaya released over than 100 cursed inscriptions because of that trading, because of its abundant lead. And then the last one, Sriwijaya has a strong trading relationship with the world. Actually, on the 5th century, India and Arabian countries have a trading bond to Sriwijaya, and then followed by Chinese, which was superior at the time. So we have discussed about the influences of Arabian traders on Sriwijaya, as what has mentioned earlier. So let's go to the next one. Now, I have a good question for you. How can the foreign sources considered to be true? If we study about the foreign sources, there must be a term called local sources. That's simple. So what's the meaning of local sources? Local sources acts as the remains of the Srivijayan kingdom, such as inscription and then temples. Those two major types are what we will discuss later on. But the first one, I will focus on the 4 major inscriptions found based on the Srivijaya kingdom. So the first one, Kota Kapur inscription. It is actually the oldest inscription found on the year of 686, found in Bangka and Branca Island. And it's actually, the term Srivijaya was written for the first time in this inscription. And then the content is the explanation about the war between Tarumanegara and Sriwijaya. So there's this one sentence that's actually very important. Bumi Jawa tidak mau tunduk kepada Sriwijaya. Who is this Bumi Jawa? The Bumi Jawa actually refers to Tarumanegara, a Sundanese kingdom that is located in Jawa Barat or West Java. And then let's go to the next, which is the Ligor inscription. The Ligor inscription was actually found in India, and then it has 2 sides, as you can see from the picture. I don't know which is which, but the 2 sides are the Vyangsa script and then the Aksara Kawi. So the Ligor inscription is actually talks about the Sriwijaya that rules across Nusantara until the borders of Thailand and Cambodia. And then one of the contents is about the King of the Kings. It's actually written in the Vyangsa script, and I believe the King of the Kings referred to Dharmasetu, one of the rulers of Sriwijaya at the time. And then the second side is actually the Aksara Kawi. As you can see, it was made by Maharaja Dyah Pancapana Karyana Panangkaranam. Who was that person? He was actually the second ruler of Medang Kingdom. After we cover this inscription, let's go to the next one, which is the Talang Tuo inscription. It was actually found by Louis Constant Westenenck in Mount Siguntang in Palembang in the year of 1920. So, what's the content of this inscription? Inside of it is actually mentioned the name Dampuntahya, the first Maharaja of Sriwijaya, and his wife Soba Kancana from the last Tarumanegara king. So Bakancana is the wife of Daputahyang, just like what I mentioned earlier. She was the daughter of King Linggawarman of Tarumanegara. And then actually we need to go to the last inscription, which is the Kedukan Bukit inscription. It's actually the longest explanation of all the inscriptions. This inscription was found by M. Battenberg in Palembang on the year of 1920 near Tatang River. And then what I can say about this inscription is that it has two important points. The first one is about the king's success of expanding his territory to Riau, and then it's actually proven the Srivijaya's ruling territory not only in Palembang but also to Riau, in which it actually makes Srivijaya's process of conquering other countries, other areas easier. Also, the other point is about the expansion of Sriwijaya by Daputahyang. After we discussed the four basic inscriptions of Sriwijaya Kingdom, here we have the remaining temples of Sriwijaya. Let's go to the next. Also, I forgot to mention that the temples over there is the Muara Takus, and then this one on my right side is actually the Muaro Jambi temple. Let's go to the first temple, which is the Muara Takus temple. So Muara Takus temple is located in Kampar Regency, Kecamatan Kampar in the Riau province. And then it was estimated to exist from the 11th century on the year of 1200 something, but I forgot. And the name was actually derived from Chinese language. So Ta means big, Ku means old, and then Se means temple. And then Muara is actually river, just like what we know. So what do you get from those combination of words? Muara Takus means a big old temple that is located near the river. That's simple. And then, what's the meaning of Maligai architecture? Maligai means the genitals of men and women. We can resemble that by ourselves from looking on this picture. And then, Muara Takus temple serves as a religious place and ritualistic place during the reign of Srivijaya Kingdom. Okay, after we got this covered, let's go to the next one, which is the Muara Jambi temple. Muara Jambi temple has actually a very big size, 8 times bigger than the Borobudur temple itself, actually 12 kilometers square as its size. That's actually very big. And then it's actually a mixture of Hindu and Buddha architecture. Also, I forgot to mention that Muara Takus temple is actually closer to Buddhism architecture. We can see the difference between each architecture by looking at the scriptures and the building. Okay, let's go to the Muara Jambi back. So, just like what I mentioned, mixture of Hindu Buddha is actually examined by S.C. Crook in 1824. He's actually an English soldier. He went to this temple by accident and actually found the temple. Also, Muara Jambi is actually a World Heritage by UNESCO in 2009. And then Muara Jambi serves as a gathering place for trading countries like Persia, India, China, and then also Arabian and India, just like what I mentioned. Hello guys, I'm actually moving from downstairs to my room right now because the TV that I used earlier for the Srivijaya explanation is actually used by my family, so I would like to apologize for the inconvenience. Now, we will go to the next part in which we will uncover the 3 most notable rulers of Sriwijaya. Now, here we have the founding father of Sriwijaya. His name was Daputahyang, in which I will tell his complete name and title later on. Why did I write founding father? He was actually the first official Maharaja of Sriwijaya, or what I say as king. Maharaja is king. We would like to apologize because we don't have any specific replica or structure of the king. This is the closest one we can find. And then let's go to the next part. His name and complete title. Well, wait, I need to... Yep, so you can see better. I'm sorry. And then, yeah. His name and complete title is Daputahyang Srijayanasa, and then he ruled Sriwijaya from the year 671 until the year of 702. But then his coronation was on 23rd April on the year 682. But he ruled Sriwijaya before his coronation, and that's the fact. So his special trait, again, he is the first Maharaja of Sriwijaya. But on some websites, I actually found other kings that ruled Sriwijaya, supposedly ruled Sriwijaya before him. And then I found one name. I will read his name because his name is actually kind of complicated. His name was Dharanindra Sangramadiananjaya Maharaja. So, who was that person? Which one is the true ruler, the true first king of Sriwijaya? Is it the Puntahyang or the Dharanindra person? But then when I checked on Wikipedia, it was actually the Puntahyang. Dharanindra was actually a king of Wangsa Sailendra, and it has nothing to do with Sriwijaya. So that's that. Case closed. The Puntahyang was the first official Maharaja of Sriwijaya. Okay, let's go to the next ruler. Now we have the illustration of the figure. His complete name was Sri Maharaja Bala Putradewa. This is the most famous ruler of Sriwijaya. You actually have to hear him on every single history book that explains about Sriwijaya because he's that famous. And then he ruled Sriwijaya from the year 682 until some unknown period of time. And then, according to Wikipedia and Historia website, on his reign, Bala Putradewa's reign, the Sriwijaya reached their golden era in which they finally succeeded conquering most of the Southeast Asia side. And that kingdoms of India and China, like the Bengala Kingdom and then the Kolamandala Kingdom of India, and then numerous kingdoms in China, mainland China, they admit Srivijaya's true power when the Bala Putradewa was ruling. And then after Bala Putradewa, we have the next king. We would like to apologize because we don't have any illustrations of any kind about this king. His name was Dharma Setu. He ruled Sriwijaya actually in a different time of Sriwijaya after Bala Putradewa, but then we don't have any specific date. And then his special traits is he was actually the one who built 3 places to worship Bodhisattva. Who is Bodhisattva? Again, everyone should know Bodhisattva is the Buddha himself. And then he also was the one that built numerous Buddhist-centered buildings, and that made Sriwijaya one of the most conservative Buddhist kingdom in Southeast Asia, in which they have the title Mahayana. Mahajana or Mahayana, it's same thing. Okay, after we discuss about the 3 kings, we only discuss about the 3 kings. So how about the citizens? How about the society? Therefore, here is the society and the politics of Sriwijaya. I have the complete list of export and imports of Sriwijaya. I hope you can read it well. Let me get it closer. Is it close enough? Yep, I will read it one by one. It's kemenyan, incense, and then pepper, damar or resin, and then we have, what is this? I cannot read. Oh yeah, turtles. Sadly, at the time, turtles are one of the most common export, but then now it's not. The tables have turned, and then Sriwijaya also export gold, iron, and ivory. Yes, elephant tusk. And then here is the import of Sriwijaya. I will read it one by one again. I forgot the first one. Yeah, kapur barus or kampur, kayu baharu or agarwood, and then cengkeh or clove, pala or nutmeg, kapulaga or cardamom, and then iron, ivory, gold, and lead. Lead is one of the most important imports. And then ceramics, cotton, and silks. Actually, struggled to read that, just so you know. And then let's go to the next one. How did Srivijaya maintain their trading domination? So they did so many military expedition, just like Iching's expedition, but Srivijaya conquered those places they went to. And then just like in the introduction, yes, if you listen closely to the introduction, I mentioned some of the kingdoms Srivijaya conquered, like Kota Kapur, Ligor, and then Gentingkra, Talangtua, and everything, and every other kingdoms. So that's when Srivijaya conquered those kingdoms. They conquered their center of economics, the Bandar Pelabuhan, or in Bahasa, and they made profit of that. So in conclusion, Srivijaya makes profit out of war. After the glory days, the winning eras of Srivijaya, we need to end this with, well, the end of Srivijaya itself. So there were 5 kingdoms that attacked Srivijaya at the time, and from the first attack until the 4th attack, Srivijaya still manages to recover until the 5th kingdom. What were those kingdoms, you might ask? The first kingdom was an attack from Medang Kamulan Kingdom in Jawa Timur from the year 990. The first war between Srivijaya and Medang Kingdom, but Srivijaya still managed to recover. The second kingdom was Kola Mandala Kingdom from India, and the reason behind those wars is because of political, trading, and economic, also social issues between those two countries. The third kingdom that attacked Srivijaya were the kingdoms Srivijaya themselves conquer, like the Ligor or the countries that I mentioned in the beginning. And then the fourth kingdom was the Thailand Kingdom. They attacked Srivijaya because Srivijaya actually took the Malayan side, in which the Thailand Kingdom had already put their territory there, marked their territory there. And then the last kingdom is the year of 1477, and Majapahit came to attack Srivijaya. And unfortunately, Srivijaya fell, and their territory belongs to Majapahit now. And that sums up the history of Srivijaya Kingdom. Where is the location of Srivijaya? According to Pierre Yves Manguin, Srivijaya is located near the Musi River, Mount Seguntang, and Sabah Kingking on the province of South Sumatra. Here on that picture, it is explained about the expedition of Srivijaya and its conquering near the Khmer of Cambodia. Next, we have when did this kingdom rise and fall? According to this, just like what I mentioned earlier, Srivijaya existed for 5 decades from the year of 682 until 1477. And on the 7th century, this date is actually very important because it's the coronation of the first king, the first Maharaja, Dapuntahyang. And then on the year 1477, Srivijaya fell to the kingdom of Majapahit. Now, after all the explanations, we can finally come with a solution, with a conclusion. The Srivijaya kingdom that originates from the island of Sumatra, Indonesia, existed far on the 7th century until the 15th century due to the major influence by I Ching's expedition and Arab traders. Many remaining of this kingdom are artifacts such as inscriptions and temples, which tell the story of its very kingdom. Srivijaya is a kingdom with Buddhism as its religion, and Dapuntahyang, Balaputra Dewa, and Dharmasetu were the rulers one might take notes on. It's trivia time. We have 5 questions. The first question, King Dapuntahyang Srijaya Naga rose to prominence at, we have actually explained earlier, it's on the 23rd of April on the year of 682. Let's go to the next question. The oldest inscription of Srivijaya Kingdom that was found in Bangka in the year of 686 Masehi was the Kota Kapur inscription. And then the third question, who is the most famous ruler and hold many regal titles in Srivijaya? It's Bala Putradewa. And then the fourth question, It Sing stated that there was a leading priest in Srivijaya where he studied Buddhism. Who was the priest? The priest was Sakyakirti. And then finally, the last question. In the year of 1477, Srivijaya kingdom fell to the Majapahit kingdom. Here are my sources. Actually, most of the sources were from the website Historia. I highly recommend you all to check out this website for your studies. And that's it, that's all. We have finally come to finish. So, did you enjoy the video? I was definitely thrilled when I watched it by myself. Actually, this video serves as a project, specifically history project, to my school here in BSD, St. John's Catholic School, by my teacher, Mr. Ferry Ismawan. I would like to apologize if there's any misspelling of names, facts, or even places. I hope you, as the viewer, can find this video useful for your studies. Please do mind to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more mind-blowing videos. Stay home, stay safe because of this COVID-19 pandemic, and stay cool!